Hi everyone.
What's up, y'all? How's it, guys?
Hola, Wafit.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hi. Sanbona, guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Welcome to the pause.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Hi everyone. Hi everyone.
Welcome to the Power Space.
Hi. Hey guys, hi, baby. My name is Bundle, and best discover name. I am the bundle of all just but if you ask for my ID, my name is Untatile Sipeng. We back, guys. Please introduce yourself.
My name is George. I'm joking. My name is Torsten Klieribka. I am a poet. I am a mentor. I am an award-winning poet, director.
Keep them coming.
Did I mention photographer? Yeah, amongst many things. Yeah.
It goes on and 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 on. How are you feeling? How do you feel about this event? How did you find out about it?
Human Rights Festival happens every year, and then they push it here at the Constitutional Hill. Then I got called by one of my good friends who's part of the curating of the programs. His name is Flo. So he called me to come and do a performance. So I performed on the first day of the festival, and on the second day I am here to perform as well.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So since yesterday was Human Rights Day, and you were performing yesterday, right? So that's how you celebrated your Human Rights Day. What is your favorite human right?
Um, every human has the right to freedom. That is my most favorite one, because especially the things that are happening right now in this world, especially about Palestine, it's one of the things that I advocate for. And it's one of the things that I preach, that everybody deserves not even a taste but a wholesome plate of freedom.
Ooh, shout out to that. Shout out.
You
to
know?
Love that. Love that. Love that. So, with that being said, are we free?
We're not free.
I strongly agree with you.
In more ways than one, we're not free, because we are somewhatly boxed in a certain system that they have been boxing us in. There's only so much spirituality we can attain. There's only so much economic freedom that we can attain. There's only so much physical freedom that we can attain. There's only so much emotional freedom that we can attain. So I don't think we are totally free. And also, freedom is defined by a person's perspective and what they are dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
It's giving limited edition. It's limited. It's very limited. Thank you very much. Hope to hear your poems, and when you empower us even more, not just through poems, but also through you being an MC. You're an MC.
I am also an MC. I am an events host. Why did I forget that?
You are many things.
I'm many
A man with
things.
many belts.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Celebrating freedom of expression. This is him. Thank you very much. Back, and if you forgot my name is Untatile Sipeng. If you look for my ID, but I go by the name of Bundle_Arize. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Kiamokhetsu Mutwane, and I am a filmmaker, photographer, poet, skater, /
Okay. But you seem so shy to be having those professions.
I know.
And your box for those professions.
I mean, I prefer to be behind the scenes, but I somehow always catch myself in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So I guess it's part of what I do, and understand how people who are in front of the camera feel about it. So yeah, I guess that's I don't mind.
I mean, it's one of the things that we go through as artists, because I'm an artist myself, and I'm a creative director. So being a creative director, sometimes I just have to be in front of the
inside,
cam and not behind the scenes. So I understand how you feel, and it does get a little shy sometimes. Yeah, but it's a safe space, and I think it's one of the things that we're celebrating today, which is our human right of being free
Oh.
and our freedom of speech and of expressing
expression,
ourselves.
yeah.
And I would like to ask you, how did you find out about this event, and how are you finding it? How are you feeling about it?
I actually found out about it through a friend who needed volunteers to help out with the film festival, because the film community, or the film community that I'm part of, is very open to giving people opportunities and expanding their creativity and just their networking skills and
beautiful.
everything. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I have that platform, and that's how I found out about it. And I'm volunteering for the Human Rights Film Festival side specifically.
Shout out to you.
Thank you, ma'am. So yeah, the event is really cool. Actually, I'm realizing a lot about what human rights mean to different people, and what it means to me personally. I'm still trying to figure that out, because I don't have an idea of what it specifically means to me, but I'm a very expressive person that would like to be free in that department, because there's so many things to express, but I often hold back because what are people going to say? What are they going to think about me, So yeah, I'm really confident about the event, and it's opening my eyes up to a lot, and yeah, it's amazing. It's really cool.
That's cool. So yesterday it was Human Rights Day. Are you celebrating Human Rights Day today, or you celebrated it yesterday?
I think I'm celebrating human rights every single day from now, because
Shout out, shout out.
I mean,
Love
it only
that.
makes sense. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. It only
love
makes
that.
sense. There's so many rights as a person that need to be expanded and get into depth with and understand, So yeah, I guess from now on I'm gonna take human rights seriously, not just like basic level education on what human rights is, and just get into it, because I need it, especially as a creative as well.
That's very nice. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you. You are so beautiful, by the way. I forgot to tell you.
So are you.
You,
Thank
you, you
so
have a
much.
beautiful smile. Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Bundle and Bestie Scapa. My name, I'm the bundle of OJS. But if you ask for my ID, my name is Untatile Sipeng. Who are you and how are you feeling?
My name is Marcus van Wyk, and I am the NGS of YMCA South Africa.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm feeling
Beautiful. Okay. Okay. How did you find out about this event, and how are you celebrating your human rights through this event?
How I found out about this event, I sit on the steering committee of the Human Rights Festival, and that's why I'm here.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. He's a man of few words. People have been speaking paragraphs, but he just gives us sentences. But that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yesterday we were celebrating human rights, and
Yeah.
not everybody feels like their rights are celebrated well, and somebody is here for only the food or things that are sold here, and not actually for the real reason why
Yeah.
this event is here. Please share a little bit why is this event important, and why should one come here to learn
Yeah.
and know their right?
I think to start off with, Human Rights Day actually commemorates Sharpville Day that happened in 1969. And so that firstly, it is to remember the atrocities and the deaths that occurred during that time, but it's also a seminal moment in our country that basically the world became known. They started to know what was happening in South Africa. And so in terms of human rights as a whole, it's important that we understand that there's the Constitution and then there's the Bill of Rights, 17 of them. And right now, people feel like their rights are being infringed upon. I think one thing is, are we aware that we have rights? And one thing is knowing your rights and knowing how to claim them. And I think part of days like this is to help encourage people to understand that you have rights, and this is how you can actually engage and ensure that your rights are not infringed upon.
Well, one of the points that I have got while having a conversation about human rights is that people know their rights, but they do not know the responsibilities
Yeah.
that come with having those rights. So how do we educate people, especially the young ones who are growing and not even yet being able to vote yet? How do we educate them so that when it's their time to vote, they know their responsibilities? So that when I say I have a right to speech, what are my responsibilities with that right? How do I express myself and not violate somebody else's rights?
I think it's an excellent question, and it's something we always need to consider. And I think I can only answer from YMCA's perspective. One of the key pillars of what we do is around advocacy. And linked to advocacy is civic education, not just around voting, but understanding your constitution, understanding your Bill of Rights, and then the responsibilities.
Yes.
And so we as an organization have said we want to make this a strategic priority. And so we want to get them as young as possible, even starting at primary school level. And so we're actually currently looking at how we can re-engage in terms of what our programs are like, understanding that the language that's used in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights is very what they call highfalutin English. And so we're looking at finding ways where kids in school can understand the language. So we're looking at actually redrafting our programs and our manuals to ensure that we can do that.
Okay, shout out to YMCA for taking the step, and I think it's one of the greatest spaces where we as young people are able to learn about these things that are not really well executed in schools. Because I am fresh from high school, and some of the things I didn't really know until I got to be in a space of the YMCA and being able to express myself and be able to learn about these different things that people don't really know about. And I think that is a very good thing, and shout out to you guys for that.
Thank you. Shout out to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the interview. My last question would be a closing statement of what is your favorite human right, and how do you celebrate it and be responsible with celebrating it?
That's a tricky question because there's no one right that's my favorite, because they all are linked. The access to health, access to education, the right to decent work, the right to safety. Those are all elements that are connected, and so I think for me it's not one favorite, but they all matter at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you very much. It was lovely having you. Who are you?
My name is Cassidy Williams.
Okay, nice to meet you. You look beautiful. Pleasure. Please briefly explain to us, how did you find about this event and why are you here? What brought your attention to such things? And as being youth, we don't really engage in such things. You can see the space is very empty compared to the numbers of youth that we have here.
So I work for an organization called the YMCA. I'm a part of this organization, and we actually have a stall up here today as well. So I'm just involved in communications and social media and doing all of that. So that's how I actually found out about this festival. I knew if I wasn't a part, I wouldn't have known much about it. But it is an incredible collaborative space for young people to learn more, to gain knowledge, to gain understanding about human rights, and just a good platform and a good space for young people to have a voice, to speak about certain things, and to come together and to unify in a space like that, or like this specifically. I know that there isn't quite a lot of young people not necessarily dependent, but on in comparison to the amount of young people there are in this country. But I trust and believe that we are at least taking action. There's a step forward, and I think that is the positive thing that we can take out of this, is that action is taking place, whether there isn't really necessarily numbers right now. I think the fact that there is a festival, that there is something that's happening, there's no reason to complain that we're not doing anything anymore. So I believe that this is a step forward, which is very exciting, and I'm really excited to be a part of this initiative and what we're doing to create change.
Okay. Concerning that, yesterday we were just celebrating human rights. Please tell us, how did you celebrate your human rights, and which one of the human rights is your favorite right, and how do you express it or celebrate your human right?
Sure, girl. How did I celebrate human rights? In preparation for today, I kind of just used the time and the space to gain knowledge about certain things. I think I'm also very new to a space like this, and that's why I actually joined the organization that I'm in, because before that, to be very transparent, is I didn't have a lot of knowledge on necessarily all the human rights and how to take a stand and how to have a voice. I was honestly very to myself and just living life. So I think for me, it is, as much as these are first steps, I'm also busy with my first steps. So yesterday was all about just soaking in on social media, whatever platforms they are, speaking about human rights, understanding what other people are doing, understanding what our organization around the country was doing. So I used my day to do that. And there's so many rights that that I could mention, and I think all of them are so important. Um, but I think the right, not, I think to be free, the right to express yourself, to be confident in that. There is so much beauty in our identity and our voice, as well as a generation. So just that right in itself is beautiful for me.
Okay, that's beautiful. I guess from what you have said in a nutshell, you celebrated your Human Rights Day, celebrating your right to information.
There we go.
That's what you basically did. Yeah, thank you very much. Who are you?
My name is Quaz. I'm a poet and a father.
Okay.
Yeah,
You don't have any other belts?
I think that's sort of it's what takes up all of my time. I
okay.
teach poetry, I write poetry, I publish poetry, I work in poetry. And if I'm not doing any of that, I'm at home being a father.
Lovely things, lovely things, lovely things. We need more men like you who do not shy away from their responsibilities as
Sure.
fathers.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the things that we have to be able to celebrate as we celebrate human rights. We brought children into this world, so let us give them their right to be able to have fathers and mothers who cherish them and are able to speak about them on public spaces like you're doing now. Yesterday we were celebrating Human Rights Day. How did you celebrate it? How was it?
I celebrated Human Rights Day in the Constitutional Court Gallery, speaking about the art and responding through poetry to the artwork that is in there. And then I also hung back a little and we did some drumming for Palestine. And I was sort of immersed in the audience around here at the festival. But I think it's beautiful to see the many different people, the many different faces coming to not only commemorate yesterday, which was also Sharpville Day, which is something that we shouldn't forget as South Africans, but also to celebrate our human rights and how far we have come as not just the people, but a country in particular who has one of the best reputations for human rights globally. We have a beautiful constitution that looks after our human rights, and I think this entire event is sort of just a beautiful reminder through the different activations that we live in a country that cherishes and protects those who have human rights, which is really every human.
That's very nice. So how do you feel about the rights that we have in our country, or I'll just say our continent as a whole, because our country is more of a rainbow nation which celebrates even other countries as well, and not only celebrating ourselves only. How do you feel about that? How do you think the political space can change to express this human rights better?
I think, look, I'm not skilled in sort of what it takes to change the world politics, regulations, and the sort of programs to implement. But what I will say is, if we all just apply a little bit of empathy to how we see each other, how we treat each other, how we are around each other in situations, in peaceful situations, stressful situations, how we treat things that are foreign to us. Are we fearful? Are we judgmental? Are we open-minded about that? I think that is a way in which we can continue to sort of enshrine human rights in the way we interact with each other. The world is changing exponentially. Things that was illegal 10, 20, 30 years ago is changing. Those laws that are changing are also being sort of blended and melting into our what is this list of human rights that we have now. So I think it's also this constant moving, changing, organic, living thing that keeps changing and being added onto. Unfortunately, our continent also has a reputation of gross human rights violations, and I think it's important for us to also acknowledge that we are very far from living in a society where everyone is catered for, where everyone is seen as equal, where everyone is seen as having an opinion, a way to live their life the way they want to. And there are pockets across the continent that definitely still harbor those sort of feelings, or those sort of good to see you, brother. Those sort of sensibilities, I guess, towards people, But how do we make it? How do we make it better? How do we alert the world that these things are happening? Through things like this, people on the street talking about it, you taking this content, packaging it, and giving it to people and saying, here are voices from the street talking about human rights. And hopefully, what that does is it puts a seed in someone else's mind to start thinking about where they stand, what human rights they could possibly be violating of other people. Also, just to interrogate what they have gone through themselves as human beings. So I think moments like this, where conversations are happening, are a good starting point for us to also start seeing. Taking the temperature rather of where we are in terms of human rights and how we protect it, and also how we deal with when there's a violation of it.
Okay, just a little microphone for us about human rights, please.
I hate this. Okay, micro poem. Can I look there?
Yeah.
What if this is heaven and God is praying to us? Thank you.